Hello and welcome to the part 2 of creating a basic HTML document structure. We are going to be using a text editor, and the text editor I'll be using is called brackets. I recommend you use brackets so it's easier for you to follow along in the example. However, if you haven't got brackets, or if you've got a preferred text editor that you're used to, please feel free to use that. To open the brackets text editor, just locate the icon. If you're on a Mac, go to your applications folder. If you're on Windows, go to all programs and you should see the icon for brackets. Just click to launch the application. If this is the first time you launch the brackets text editor after installation, it provides some sample code for you here just to illustrate how various parts of it work. But what we're going to do, I'm going to open up our project directory inside the text editor. So I'm going to navigate to it. I'm going to click File, Open Folder, and the folder is on my desktop. So I'm going to navigate to my project folder, which is this one here. And this is what I want. I'll just click and that will open it inside the text editor. So on the left pane here, you can see my subfolders and my main project folder. So if I expand this folder here, you can see I've got a couple of images in that folder. So I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to save that file as an index.html. Any file that's got the .html extension is treated as a web page or a HTML document. So I'm going to go to File and click New, and you can see it's given a new here, and I'm going to click on Save. I'll do Save As, and I'm going to save it into the root. This area here is the root, and I'll call it index.html and click Save. So you can see on the title here, it shows the name of the file I've just created, and you can see where it's got working files. It's got the file currently highlighted, which means any file in this area is the file you are currently working on. So any code I write in here now will now be an HTML code. So when I launch this with a web browser, it will know that it's an HTML document. So the very first thing you do in an HTML document is indicate the doc type. So the way you do that, you do a less than symbol on your keyboard, an exclamation mark, and then you type in the word doc type. You can make it lowercase if you like. It's not case sensitive. And then you do a space, and then in lowercase you type in HTML, and then you do a greater than sign. So that's the very first line of code you write inside an HTML document page. So let's move on to the next line. So the next line here, you can give a couple of spaces if you want. I'm going to now specify the HTML document. So you do that by, again, a less than sign on your keyboard, type in HTML, and then a greater than sign. Most tags have an opening and a closing tag. One good thing about brackets is that it automatically also adds the closing tag for you. So all you need to do is just press enter on your keyboard and that will separate them. So any code between the opening and closing HTML tags will now be referred to as an HTML document. So anything between these elements, the opening and closing, is treated as a web page. So next, let's tab down and then we create the head section, which is a head element. Again, you do a less than sign, you type in head and then a greater than sign, and it automatically places a closing element for you. So just press enter to separate, and in between the head element, inside the head element, is where we're going to specify some other nested element. So we're going to place some other elements in between the head element in the next video, but before I wrap up this video, I just want to create the body element. So again, the way you do that, you do a less than sign and then type in body and then a greater than sign. You can see automatically places a closing tag, and inside the body element is where we'll have some other elements. Any elements inside the body element is the content that the visitor to the page will see. Any tags or elements inside the head is just for informational purposes. It doesn't get displayed. The only thing that gets displayed, if you have a title here, the title will show when the page is rendered by the web browser. Just as you have the title here saying index.html, when the web browser launches this web page, it will have whatever title you've given to the page, it will have it displayed in the web browser window. So that's it for this part of the video. In part 3, we will add more elements to the document structure. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.